So the next part of this video series is Darby, or like the actual initial phase of Ranger School after Rap Week. This is one phase that I am completely familiar with because of a 3-week phase. I spent 12 weeks here. I did Darby initially. I recycled for patrols. I recycled during Best Ranger competition, which is a 6-week holdover. I did another 3 weeks before I passed. 12 weeks total. I've been through all of Darby, everything it has to offer. But the first thing it starts with is the Darby Queen obstacle course. The Darby Queen is an absolute just suck fest. It's like a 2-mile obstacle course with countless obstacles in between, and the whole time you're getting smoking. And as much of it is like a physical, just breakdown smoker, it's mental too. If you could have caffeine in Ranger School, let alone a cold brew, it'd be a game changer. It'd be next level. So like, I stopped using all caffeine sources, all pre-workout, all caffeine, like 2 weeks before leaving, and I still had a little bit of withdrawal. But if you could have caffeine there, oh my God. Oh my God. There's this one part of the Darby Queen that I vividly remember. I will never forget this obstacle. So the whole way through, you're getting smoked in between the obstacles, and for some of the obstacles, you have teams or partners. So for this one, we get there, and we're waiting in line to just get to this balance beam. The balance beam alone was easy, but being smoked prior to was a hard part. So you're waiting in line, you have a partner, and the one thing the ranger instructor made us do, this guy was infamous for making us embrace the suck. If you were there between the years of 2012 and 2015, if I said his name, you'd be like, I know that guy. We're waiting in line, I grab a partner. We had to carry our buddy on our shoulders down the hill. At the bottom of the hill, do 10 burpees, and then carry the opposite partner up the hill on your shoulders. Doesn't sound bad, but the only way to move past that obstacle is to win. So you have to beat like one of 20 teams. We were there forever, which felt like hours. Each phase is essentially set up the same way. So you have 1 week of techniques week, where the ranger instructors are essentially telling you how they want you to run the patrols. You're going over the 20 boards. The next 10 days are the field problems, either broken up into 2 5-day field problems or 1 10-day field problem. And the last couple days of recovery before moving on to the next phase. God, I suck. So now that I'm stimmed out of my mind, cold brew hit me hard this morning. Go to the gym, get some work done, work out. Whew. So with each phase of Ranger School, like as you progress, it goes from the crawl, walk, to run phase. So bending and Darby, that's like the crawl phase. It's where during techniques week, like the RIs tell you, you're going to do this way in order to get a go. So like in Darby or bending phase, you're focused on squad level tactics. And then when you go to mountains in Florida is platoon level tactics. So your like graded leadership positions are squad leader and 2 team leaders. And then in Darby or bending, you're focused on squad attack, rack to contact, and rack to ambush. So those are the 3 battle drills that you're focused on and you're getting evaluated on.
Have no need to fight tonight.
So I leave for Florida on Friday. So I'm like picking up groceries like here and there. So I'm not buying all this stuff before I leave. One thing I'll never forget about Ranger School though. So like before you actually go into the first phase, you're still at, well, you're Camp Darby. It's right after you get to Camp Darby from Camp Rogers. Oh no, I dropped my soda. It broke everywhere. Anyway, so, oh my God, I dropped another one. So you have services with a chaplain before going out there. and they offer everyone one slice of bread and peanut butter, and they tell you to be conservative with it so that everyone can have a piece. Well, they don't give you any utensils to share this stuff. So one person's holding a jar of peanut butter, one person's going through with their slice of bread, just digging through this peanut butter jar with their slice of bread, just like a pure savage. But it was awesome, like peanut butter and bread before going out to the field after being a little bit of food deprived. Glorious. So there's 3 ways you can recycle Ranger School. Okay, so there's patrols, so you fail your leadership roles in a patrol during the field problems. Too many spot reports, so too many things that you messed up or did wrong, like safety violations, not having things tied down, falling asleep when you're not supposed to, or peers. So at the end of each phase, all your peers in your squad and your platoon rate you based off your performance, how well you contribute in relation to everyone else in that element. And if a lot of people rate you bad, you get a bad peer rating, you can be recycled. If you recycle for the same thing twice, you get dropped. So for example, in Darby, I recycled because I failed patrols. The next time going through Darby, if I would have failed patrols again, I would have been dropped from the course. So let me paint you a picture of what the field problem itself looks like. You can expect to wake up between 4:30, 5 a.m. and receive your mission. At this point, that's when leadership's put into place. So squad leaders, team leaders are assigned. They start receiving the mission, planning the mission, rehearsing the mission. During this time, everyone else is eating one of 2 MREs you have for the day. They're going through weapons cleaning. They're doing personal hygiene. For the next couple hours, everyone's just preparing for that mission that day. And we ended up stepping off somewhere in the early afternoon. You execute the mission. The mission's over around, right when it's getting dark. You do your AAR, after action review, where you sit down with the RIs and they establish and point out what you did right, what you did wrong, and how you're going to improve. After that, you walk your patrol base where you're going to sleep for the night. By the time you get settled into your patrol base, it's typically around 2 or 3 a.m. and you have maybe 2 or 3 hours to sleep. Earlier when I talked about the crawl, walk, run phase, bending phase is definitely the crawl phase. So the distances to objectives are the shortest distance. You're getting the most amount of sleep throughout all phases of Ranger School. Mountains and then Florida, you have a little bit more leeway of expectations and how to accomplish each mission and objective differently. Throughout all 3 phases, it's easiest. Now, if you're going to Ranger School, this is going to be of great importance to you because it gives you something to look forward to. After each phase, you have a dog X. So carry cash with you because you have the opportunity to buy 2 hot dogs, 2 bags of chips, 2 sodas, and 2 candy bars. After each phase, whether you pass or fail, recycle or moving on to the next phase, it's like a big celebratory day. Dog X, next day, next phase.